Hey guys, Johnny B here. I'm bringing our episode number 1s where I commemorate the songs atop the Billboard Hot 100, the Billboard Hot 100 Airplay, the Radio and Records chart, and the Billboard Top 40 Mainstream chart. And we're just trucking along in the 90s, and we have arrived at Natalie Imbruglia and Torn. Now, this was a huge radio hit, and when I say huge, I mean huge. It was one of the biggest radio hits in the UK, Australia, the United States, and many countries around the world. And of course, this was number 1 on the Hot 100 Airplay chart, the Radio and Records chart, and the Billboard Top 40 Mainstream chart. Now, it wasn't eligible for the Hot 100 because it was an airplay-only single, which further proves my point that the biggest hits of the 90s just weren't very well represented by the Billboard Hot 100. And this song was eligible later on in 1998 because they changed the rules that it could feature airplay-only singles, but its popularity was dwindling down at the time, so I was only able to peak at number 42. But I'm sure if the rules were different, it would have been a number 1 hit on that chart, hands down. Now, I'm a huge Natalie Imbruglia fan. I do have my Natalie Imbruglia t-shirt on, so got to represent that. And I do own the Australian version of Left of the Middle. And I do own the United States version, the one that 2 million people bought. And I do own the vinyl copy. I mean, what kind of man would I be if I didn't? Now, I do kind of want to give a little bit of a backstory behind this because, of course, this song was a cover, and Natalie got a lot of flack for that because she was previously a soap opera actress in her native Australia on a show called Neighbours. And that show was very famous for launching the careers of Kylie Minogue, Guy Pearce, and Jason Donovan, amongst other people. So there was kind of a stigma attached to that. And this song was actually written by Phil Thornalley, who was affiliated with The Cure at one point and a lot of other acts. And also it was also co-written by 2 members of a band called Edna Swap, Ann Previn and Cutler from that band. They all were songwriters of this song. Now, the most early version of the song, there was a live version of it recorded by Edna Swap, but it was more of a demo. But the first formally released version of the song was actually recorded in Danish by this Danish singer named Liz Sorensen, and the song is called Brunt, which is Danish for burnt, and I'm sure I mispronounced that so terribly, so please forgive me. Now, Edna Swap did release a single version that would later be released on their Wacko Magneto album in 1995, and there also was this Norwegian singer, Trine Rein, who had a top 10 hit in Norway with her version of Torn. Now, Liz and Trine's version are very similar to Natalie's because Natalie's is very poppy. Edna Swap's version is kind of like Melissa Etheridge-esque and everything like that. And also, Ann Previn just didn't seem to be a fan of Natalie's version, even though her version made her the most money, so I think I would be grateful for that song and all the residuals that come with it. And the thing I just love about Natalie's rendition is that she just kind of really evokes this innocence in the song, and I think that, you know, her vocals are just very innocent, very naive, very kind of resilient, kind of jaded, kind of desensitized, all in a fabulous late 90s pop version. That's just what I love about it. And I also just really enjoy the acoustic backdrop of this song. I think that just the feel of it is just so heavenly. I remember the first time I heard it, I was just like, this song just sounds so brilliant. And I also really love the lyrics to it. I think that they just really do hit the spot when you go through a breakup or you have that kind of any sort of romantic emotions that are just tarnished. I mean, this song just really does hit that spot. And I also just really love the guitar outro on it. It kind of has that little gleam, that dare, so, you know, that's classic as well. And of course, a lot of people knew this song because of the lyric lying naked on the floor. In fact, I think that people didn't even know this song as Torn. I think they just knew it as lying naked on the floor. Kind of like how they would mispronounce her name, because her name is kind of a little unusual. So Natalie Imbruglia, although a lot of people would say Imbruglia or Imbruglia or something like that. Especially in the United States, they do that. And this song definitely does go hand in hand with this music video because that's actually what introduced me to this song. So my brother and I, it was March of 1998, we came back from Mexico and we turned on the TV to watch VH1's Top 10. And I remember we were watching the recap, and she was number 5 that week. And it was, I remember it was that scene where that wall is like falling on top of her, like during the third chorus of the song. And I just remember just thinking that was kind of one of the coolest things. So I was instantly intrigued. And when I finally heard the song and watched the music video, I just loved it. But I could never remember her name because it was so unusual. So when I wanted to buy the CD, so for my birthday, It was April 1998, specifically April 23rd, 1998. We were still living in Mexico at the time, and there was this one exotic restaurant. It was called Vips. I think it was pronounced VIPS or Vips. I don't remember. We used to call it Vips. And it's weird. Allegedly, it had all this exotic food like pig brain taco or something, but also doubled as a CD store. So you could buy like a pig brain taco and also go get a CD at the same time. You know, what are the odds? But I remember just seeing the album on display, and I just was like, that just looks so much like her. So I decided just to take a chance. I bought the album, brought it home. The first track was Torn. I was like, yep, this is it. And I was just hooked to it. And I just loved seeing the music videos so much on VH1 and MTV because it was huge on both of them. It was played on the radio, like, you know, it was terminally overplayed. It was played like at least every 2 seconds, it seemed. And I remember my brother and I used to be very competitive with VH1's Top 10. We used to compete with which songs would be number one. And my brother was so infuriated that Marcy Playground's Sex and Candy and Fastball's The Way weren't able to reach the number one spot because of Natalie. And I remember also, like, he kind of reached peak frustration when the song was won Best New Artist in the Video at the 1998 VMAs. So I remember Hanson and Sarah Michelle Gellar announced it, and the other nominees were Cherry Poppin' Daddies, Zoot Zoot Riot, Fastball's The Way, Mace's Feel So Good, and Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping. So when they announced it, we were actually recording that on VHS. Remember those? And I remember when Natalie's name was announced, my brother ran to the VCR and he was going to stop the recording, but I blocked him from it and I saved the recording. I enjoyed that moment that Natalie won that Best New Artist. So I was really excited about that. And so, you know, suck on that, Timothy. So, you know, I was very happy that I was able to prevent him from doing something very egregious. I mean, seriously, that was just unacceptable. Well, anyway, I definitely have a lot of history of this song, and I know this is kind of a more long-winded episode, but I did just want to, you know, present those little anecdotes. I think this is a great song. It's lovely, and it's timeless, and it's definitely one of the biggest hits of all time, hands down. Well, that was Natalie Imbruglia with Torn. I look forward to bringing her episode number 1s. I'm Johnny B, and I'm out.